The gap. There's a moment right before the fall that nobody talks about. Not the jump, not the landing, but the gap. That space where your feet are still touching what you've always known, but your spirit is already leaning toward God. I stood there on solid ground, where everything made sense, where I knew my lines, played my role, kept my image intact, safe. But something inside me started whispering, "Follow me." And it didn't come with instructions, no blueprint, no step-by-step, just a voice that required trust I didn't yet have language for. Because faith isn't proven on solid ground, faith is revealed in the gap. See, the mind will tell you, stay where you can see, stay where you can calculate, stay where you can explain how this is going to work. But God will call you into places that don't make sense to your logic, only to your spirit. And right there in the gap, everything gets loud. Fear starts preaching, doubt starts prophesying. Your past starts reminding you why you're not qualified to take a step like this. And then there's another voice, quieter, but weightier. Trust me. And I wish I could say I jumped boldly, but truthfully, I trembled. Because leaving the ground meant letting go of control and trusting a God I couldn't physically see. And that's when I realized faith isn't the absence of fear, it's movement in spite of it. So when my feet finally lifted, it wasn't because I felt ready, it was because I believed He was. And what felt like falling was actually being carried. Because God doesn't ask you to jump to watch you crash. He asks you to trust what He's already holding. Somewhere between control and surrender, I stopped gripping. And when I stopped gripping, I felt Him. Not as an idea, not as something I was taught in church, but as a presence that met me in midair. So now when people ask me how I did it, how I let go, how I surrendered, how I risked being seen, I tell them I didn't fall blindly. I fell by faith. Because once you hear His voice, staying where you are becomes disobedience. And that gap, that terrifying, stretching, exposing space, that's not where God abandons you. That's where He proves He was there the whole time. So if you're standing there on the edge between who you've been and who He's calling you to be, don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for comfort. Just listen. Because faith doesn't always look like flying. Sometimes it looks like falling and trusting you'll be caught.